Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to Sober City. My name is Seth, and I am an alcoholic. Still pretty excited for this episode. Probably the most sincere and raw conversation I've had so far. Very proud of my amazing friend, Amy, who's shared her journey, not in struggling with alcoholism, but her struggles with alcoholics. Amy has had her share of, unfortunately, loving and being loved by alcoholics, and she really gets into what it's like and the lifetime damage that it causes. I'm very grateful for her because I think it's a lot easier to talk about it from the alcoholic side than it is to be on the other side of it, because Amy never did anything wrong as far as things she can be responsible for. Just trying to manage life in a chaotic environment with chaotic individuals, starting from a very young age, very vulnerable and innocent age. So super proud of her and pretty proud of how it came together. As always, appreciate you listening. If you or someone you know is struggling with alcoholism or addiction, my information is in the show notes. Happy to talk to anyone at any time, and I appreciate the opportunity. So with all that said, life is beautiful. Sobriety is worth it. Thank God for today. This is Sober City. Well, Amy, welcome to Sober City.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Oh, I'm happy to have you. I sure appreciate you coming and do this with me. I know you're a little nervous, but
First long-time listener, first time caller.
there it is. I love it. That's exactly right. Yes. And Amy, you are on to talk about not having an alcohol issue, right?
Yeah. I come from a long line of addicts. Every grandpa, every aunt, every uncle. It would be easier to tell you who in my family didn't struggle with addiction rather than who did. But I was born, I have 3 older brothers who are 8, 7, and 5 years older than me, and I was the baby. And my brothers were born on March 26th, July 26th, May 26th, and I was born April 1st as a girl. So my parents, I think maybe they had some tendencies before this, but their second son, his name was Charlie, was born with hydrosis of the brain. And so he was really fragile, really, really special little boy, really special to them, to the whole family. And my dad was a woodsman. He was a crane operator, built homes, very, very handy guy. And Charlie just loved to brush his teeth, was his favorite activity. So on his birthday, my dad built him a step stool to brush his teeth. And he had to have a helmet on at all times because his little brain was so fragile, because he had to have these, drain the fluid on his brain. It's just much different times, medically than now. And my mom had put him down for a nap and not put his helmet on him. And she lay down for a nap. And he got up to go brush his teeth and fell backwards and hit his head and died on his birthday.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
So that sent both of my parents' addiction into 4th gear, for sure.
Yeah, tragic.
Yeah, tragic. So my mom, really, really struggled with the guilt. And she was given a lot of prescription medication to deal with it.
Yeah.
Total addict. My mom was a professional. She was really manipulative, really loved alcohol, really loved hard drugs, really loved prescription pills. And, she would have me fake an injury to take me to the doctor, to steal the prescription pad. She was very creative with her addiction. My dad was an alcoholic, not a good one, not just one of my very first memories was my dad sitting in this chair trying to get his shoes off and just so drunk. So I, of course, was a mistake. And I was just, thrown in it. There was never normal. It was always chaos. So when I was in 3rd grade, I went to 5 different schools in 3 different states. I was just really shuffled around a lot. My parents didn't stay together. My dad did several stints in jail for alcohol-related crimes. I've heard people say this before, but I genuinely didn't know that people moved during the day. We always moved at night. That my mom was always in chaos. There was always a new boyfriend. You wronged somebody, you got to get out of town. Always a friend I was thrown with. Just never calm.
Right. Yeah. No peace.
No peace.
Yeah. At your entire life.
My entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened? So, my oldest brother had a family that took great care of him. My middle brother was my youngest, the one that's right over them. He was very close with my dad. So no matter what kind of chaos my dad was in, he was along for the ride there. And I think because it was the girl, it was always assumed that I would go with my mom. So, sorry.
Oh, that's right.
My mom got to a point where she took me to the Salvation Army and tried to give me away.
Oh, jeez.
And they were like, we don't take children here. It was that's not what we do. So she dropped me off at my grandparents' house, and my dad had just gotten out of jail. He had this new kind of relationship going on, and he came and got me. And so for a couple of years, I lived with my dad. And so I think at the time, my mom was really on the rails. She was really in a downward spiral, and she kind of went absent for a couple years. And my dad's alcoholism was at its peak as well. He and his wife were in addiction together and alcoholism together. And it was, really unpleasant. It was very tough. There were so many things like I didn't have a bed. Oftentimes we'd come home and there wouldn't be electricity on. There would, never, ever having a friend over, ever, because you just don't know what the vibe is. And I really quickly, as a young child, I took the role of keeping the peace, making people smile, like let's not get upset about this. Let's just,
Oh, yeah.
And really reading adults. In listening to your podcast, one thing that I've heard you say to people who are getting sober is that you count other people's drinks. I've always counted other people's drinks because, as a child, my safety depended on that. I needed to know what was going on. Who's driving me home here? Whose couch am I getting left on? It's always, which is such an oxymoron because I'm very comfortable with addicts. They're my favorite. That's my comfort zone. But they're not really very comfortable with me because I'm so situationally aware. It's weird.
Yeah, you're always on kind of a heightened alert. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something you've been conditioned to be.
Yeah. So anyway, after a couple of years of living with my dad and it being shortly thereafter, they became homeless for a short spell. But right in between there, my mom called me and said, I've got my stuff together. I'm remarried. I really want you to come and spend some time with me and just kind of let me make it up to you. And my brother was like, no way. No. I am not going. And I went. And she lived at the time in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, was married to a wonderful human, wonderful, wonderful guy. And when I stepped off the plane, she said, "You'll never see your dad again." And just like started spewing all these, this wasn't, your brother John really wasn't my child, and your grandparents are dead. And, just all of these things that she had told her now husband that I needed to cover. And I was just like, God damn it, she tricked me.
Right. How old were you?
I was 10.
Oh, 10. Jeez.
Yeah.
And she's already kind of using you as a manipulation tool
yeah.
to kind of propagate her lies or whatever
Yeah.
she's telling her new husband.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my mom was, really violent, very, very violent person. Very, I guess. Okay. So at this point, it had all gotten kind of the best of her. She was in and out of psych wards. She started our house on fire. She would have days where she couldn't leave her bed. I would go on these crusades and I would find pills in our house, like under the coffee grounds, in shoe boxes, in any place that you could imagine. It was just, like every empire that you see fall. Like she was not at the height of her game anymore. She was miserable. She would have these seizures and just, it was falling apart. And so when I was 13, I came home from school on May 17th, and I found her dead.
Jeez. Yeah.
And I was so relieved.
Right. Oh, sure.
I was, because it was over,
Yeah.
So I really didn't like my mom.
Right.
I really didn't. I don't have any good memories. Pretty much anything that involved her was chaos. And she was mean. And at the time, I didn't have children of my own. So I had no empathy for her.
Yeah.
So, but to put it into perspective, my mom had 7 brothers and sisters, parents who were still alive, 3 children who were still alive. And I can't tell you how many ex-husbands. And I was the only blood relative at her funeral.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
She, So within 2 weeks of her dying, I was packed up and shipped to South Dakota to be with my dad and his wife. And the clarification is that a lot of people who know me hear me talk about my mom, and they probably think my stepmom is my mom. I have a wonderful stepmom who is still in my life, who I refer to as my mom. So, and that was, my dad and my mom. When I moved to South Dakota, my dad had gotten sober. He had been sober for about a year, and my stepmom had gotten sober. They did it together. So I arrived, 13-year-old girl, just lost my mom, and here we are. And, I hadn't talked to my dad. So it was really weird. It was my dad really wasn't a person of many words. He had great character as a sober man, but we didn't talk about it at all. So I just arrived and kind of did life. And so as a teenager, I've definitely probably had times where I've had an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. But another word that I hear a lot of people say, a lot of addicts, they talk about control. And for me, I never wanted to be out of control because I know what it looks like. I saw the worst of what nobody in my family was a functioning anything.
No.
I saw
even the functioning aren't really functioning.
Right.
But still, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did, I drank, I partied, I did those things, but I hated it. I've always hated alcohol. One of my friends always calls me drink one, spill one, give one away, because I've never liked it. I do not like the feeling of loss of control.
Right.
Which is crazy because I also have the imposter syndrome where I hate, I don't feel like I fit anywhere,
Yeah.
but I can't do anything to lubricate it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that's the tough part is I have codependent behavior, right?
Mhm.
So I understand that part of wanting to read people. Like I'm the same way. And maybe
Yeah.
that's what makes us good realtors.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah.
Because we're very heightened. We have a heightened awareness, but also I have this propensity where when I drink or use whatever, I get this, that goes away.
Yeah.
But for you, it doesn't. And so,
It doesn't. No, it doesn't feel good at all.
no.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, my heart goes out to you because at least I had for a period some kind of relief until I had to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you've had to feel everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you didn't have that escape.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's 100%. That's tough. But yeah, so I'm tracking you there. So you drank to kind of fit in, I guess. When you say you had to kind of an unhealthy relationship with that.
Well, I mean, I definitely remember those teenage, early 20 times of drinking too much, getting sick, lying to your parents, those types of things. I definitely never felt like I personally was powerless over alcohol. I've never, it just is same thing with narcotics, with pills. I mean, my gosh, you can hardly get me to take pill because again, I've just always been hyper aware of the damage that it can do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that said, so immediately post high school, my one serious high school boyfriend definitely had some addiction issues. Post high school, I get married to an addict who was very abusive in every way, mentally and physically. And I had this realization when my little boy was 2 years old that something bad was going to happen to him if I didn't do something. And I literally fled in the middle of the night. I just left. And, it was so scary. He came looking for me and I was just like, gosh, how could I have done this? With everything that I know.
Right. Yeah.
Here I am with this just, it was worse than the addiction I'd already been exposed to. It was worse. And so I left and I came home and I immediately got into another, unhealthy relationship, got pregnant, so now I'm mid-20s,
Yeah.
2 babies,
Yeah, right.
2 baby daddies. And, my second child's dad he's great. We were just so young and had so much baggage. And, I didn't have the tools to be in a grown-up relationship and he didn't and it just didn't work out.
Nonetheless, have 2 kids, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. When he had children and yeah, it was just a lot.
So he had children also from a previous relationship. So how many children between the two of you were you?
Well, there were 3 and then I was pregnant.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So it was a mess.
Yeah.
A mess.
Your mid-20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I always say that I think Tony tricked me because I think I thought, because Tony was in a band.
And Tony's your current
husband.
There you go. Yeah.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
I think I maybe thought that he
Had a
I was a bad boy or something. Somehow the intrigue. But Tony Clark coming into my life, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's just.
Oh, yeah. Well deserved, right? Yeah, because he's a musician, a biker. Right?
Yeah, a biker.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a healthy, good dude.
Just a healthy, good dude.
Yeah, awesome.
And people like me,
yeah,
I have abandonment issues.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh my gosh, did I try to push that guy away?
Self-sabotage.
So much self-sabotage. And he just, endured.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget one time he said something to me. It just really stuck. He's like, why does there always have to be something wrong? And I was like, you're so right. It was just what I was used to.
Oh.
Just chaos is the norm. So that was really profound for me, and it helped a lot. But then, we had our third little boy, my third little boy, his first little boy. And we just celebrated 16 years of marriage, and
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, you guys are a power couple.
You're doing pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not that it's perfect, but
No relationship is, but it's not traumatic.
It's not traumatic. Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. And when you talk about why does there have to be something
Why
wrong?
does something always have to be wrong?
Why does something always that's part of that control.
Yeah.
You just have to always be expecting, okay, this is going well now. When's the other shoe gonna drop, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And that is a codependent. You're just like, I can't even enjoy the good times because I know something bad's gonna happen. You're just so accustomed to bad things happening.
Yeah. And one thing that I thought about, shout out to the Dax Shepard podcast for years of therapy. Yeah. But
Armchair expert.
Armchair expert. Yeah. When you're little, the adults are supposed to keep you safe. That's their job. And when I was little, not only did the adults not keep me safe, but they put me in danger. So you learn not to trust them. For me, trust is my most precious commodity. Earning my trust, giving somebody my trust, there is nothing more valuable. Because, you trust, your mom says, I'm not going to drink at this. And you let your guard down and you believe her. And then you end up in this terrible situation, in danger. So you very quickly learn, and then you blame yourself. Like, why did I trust them? I know better than to trust them. I was so stupid to put myself in that situation. So learning to trust and let go is, I think, the hardest part.
It's the hardest part, but it's also the key to happiness and having that serenity, because you have to trust. If you're continually not trusting, life gets pretty tough, right?
Yeah.
But like you said, it's a learned behavior.
And I have to relearn it over and over again. Yeah. Because then if somebody does break my trust, I'm very resentful of it. I'm like, I knew it. I knew my trust was going to be broken.
Blame yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel stupid. Like, it's your fault.
You feel stupid.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Yep.
That even though they're the ones that had wronged you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You made the mistake.
Yeah.
But that's a lie.
Right.
You trusted them and they broke that trust. That's not your fault. Yeah.
Right. Which is such a great codependent pattern for alcoholics and addicts. I used to find great comfort in going to meetings. And I think it was because it was almost like I could find some forgiveness in that, like some understanding.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's the idea, right?
Yeah.
Because when you meet other people and you have similar stories, it makes you feel a little less crazy, right? You can recognize your story and theirs.
Yeah.
The God in them.
Yeah.
Right?
But I prefer the meeting of the addict, not the meeting of the codependent.
Sure. I get that. Yeah.
It's weird, but it's just where I'm comfortable.
That's okay too. Yeah. You can get something out of both.
Yeah.
And that's fair. And they have what's called open meetings where even if you're not an alcoholic or an addict, you can attend. And that's what they're for, right?
Yeah.
Because listening to others, and sometimes if you're in a room of healthy addicts and alcoholics who can acknowledge the craziness and the insanity, then it kind of make me answer some questions.
Well, and I mean, it's one reason that I'm so appreciative of you for doing this podcast and why I'm so excited to be here is there's just a path to forgiveness, from understanding what other people, it is the disease, it is the addiction, it is not the person, and like my dad was the best grandpa. He was just like such a cool, amazing, wonderful, sober dude. And he got the opportunity to make amends. And my mom never got that. And that's, I feel like hearing somebody else on your podcast maybe talk about their story, like I can see a little bit of my mom in that. And it gives me a little peace with it,
Oh, that's good. Yeah. And really the end result for your mom was probably the best case scenario for you both.
Yeah.
When you were relieved because
Yeah.
now she has peace and so do you, right? Because really that's what we say is we either get better or we die. Like that's how I see it. It's you gotta start getting better. It doesn't you don't get a point where you're like, okay, this is a happy medium where I can just drink and use and also function. It just gets worse and worse and worse until we die or get locked up, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a terrible situation. When you had talked about, yeah, your mom had 7 brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Big family.
Big family.
Yeah. And all these people. You're the only one at the funeral.
Yeah.
And that's where we end up is
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. We burn everybody because that's what this thing wants us is alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know if I mean, you probably went because you were there.
I went because I had to.
Yeah, you had to. You were a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
But the other thing you said was you didn't really have a chance to maybe have compassion or empathy. You were very angry for a long time.
Yeah,
right?
it wasn't until I had children of my own and I realized what losing one of them might do to me. I could definitely empathize with, she just wanted to die. She did. She just could not deal with it. And now, as a mother, my heart breaks for her. I can understand. I, too, would probably take anything to make that pain go away. So there's been some healing in that, No,
that's good. And it's tough because not only to lose a child, but to make the connection that I'm directly responsible for their death, right?
Yeah. Well, both of them had terrible guilt because, my dad built the stool and
brushing his teeth.
My mom fell asleep. So both of them just really carried that for a long time, and didn't really get any help to get through it.
No. Yeah. And it was a different time period too, a little bit when it came to mental health. I think, like you said, they would prescribe your mom
anything,
medication or whatever. I can only imagine what they gave her.
Yeah.
But that's pretty addictive.
Yeah.
It seems like a solution to us. And it makes me feel better. It helps me function. But what it does is over time, it doesn't work as well. And you're trying to find ways to supplement, get that feeling back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I can't imagine either. And that's good for your healing, right? To kind of release that anger and look at her with more of a compassion.
There's a little bit, now I feel, I really wish that she would have had the opportunity to make amends, to get better, to see this beautiful life and
to forgive herself.
And to forgive herself.
That's it. The freedom she would have experienced if she could just learn how to accept that it was an accident.
Yeah. And I wish that, to kind of bring this full circle and sort of the reason that I felt called to be here. I was thinking about my life now, and right now I feel like way more than my fair share of really, really strong women, good friends, best friends. Type A, they're all type A. It's so funny. They're drawn to me, right? Tony too, he's type A with the OCD kicker, right? And I do not consider myself to be a controlling person at all. And so I've just, fit so nicely with all of these people. And I remember thinking, as all these blocks have been built, I used to hate when people would say, I'm just going to give it to God. I'm just going to give it to God. And to me, that was like such a cop-out. Like, what the hell does that even mean? So you're not going to do anything. You're just going to let this happen. And I realized these women in this life that I've built, I can sit with them and just know that it's going to be okay. Like, whatever it is, I know that I'm going to be okay and that it's going to be okay. And I never had that, ever, ever. Not until I was in my 40s did I ever just, well, this situation sucks, but I know that it's going to be okay. And so I just had this epiphany of like, this is what people mean by give it to God. They mean that they just know that it's not in their control and that they also know that it's going to be okay. And so this year alone, I've lost 4 people to alcoholism. One of them really close to me.
This year, as in 2025?
As in
4 people?
2025.
Jeez.
And the one that was quite close to me, I couldn't really grieve for reasons I can't get into. But I went to that funeral and I saw the daughter, the girl there. And I just thought, I just wish I could give this little girl some peace, that everything's going to be okay. I wish that my presence could help her know that everything's going to be okay, like people have done for me. I just feel called to be that for people on any side of it,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you probably saw you, right?
Yeah, I saw myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, were you able to talk to her? Were you able to console her? And
Yeah. And
yeah.
And we're in contact, and she's not as young as I was, but it's so tough. You lose this person that you love so much, and you're never going to get the, I'm sorry that I did this, or I'm sorry that I did that, or I just feel like there has to be more people that are going through that are like, gosh, even you, like, I'm sure there are times when your spouse is like, I forgive you, but god dang, you put me through some shit.
Oh yeah. No, she probably still doesn't trust me. Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's difficult, but that's all right. But yeah. Exactly. Yeah, she's been more gracious than anybody should have to be, right?
Yeah.
But the best I can do is just continually make things right? Like that guilt, shame, and remorse that I have, right? When you get sober, you think back, you obviously know there's certain examples of where you're not a good person, but there is a lot more than I thought there were. And I think I forgot a lot. And I could spend a lot of time feeling sorry for myself, which is a selfish approach, but instead using it as a propellant to be the best I can be for her. Just like for you, when we were talking about Tony.
Yeah.
Thank God, right?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, well deserved. Finally, a healthy relationship, somebody that can give you a healthy perspective.
Yeah.
And tell you, I love that. Like, why does there always have to be something wrong?
Yeah.
Just an always immediate negative perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, I totally know that's such a codependent thing. Like, you got to find the negative because that's a way for you to prepare.
Yeah.
So you're not that. And that's something my wife has said was just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
Things are good now, but what's the next thing going to be? And all I can do is just make sure there's no other shoe.
Well, and it's blind faith on both of your parts. You can do the best that you can to make sure, but we're all human.
Yeah, we'll make mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's right. Yeah. And same for her.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
To try to worry or anticipate a bad thing happening, you're just borrowing the turmoil caused from that bad thing happening, despite it probably not happening.
Yeah.
You're just borrowing against that. You're borrowing that discomfort now.
Right.
And it's tricky. And that's why the best thing you can do is turn it over to God or your friend group. Like, that's the thing. It doesn't have to be what anybody's certain definition of God. Your group of friends, right? When you're with them, you just feel comfortable. You have peace when you're with Tony, right?
Yeah.
Obviously they can't be your God, but that understanding.
Yeah. It's just the first time that I understood what that feel, to just truly be shoulders down. This is gonna be okay.
I get it.
Don't need to find what's wrong.
No. And just right now I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great feeling.
Yeah.
Like before we started recording, we were talking about our phones. Like you went for a walk this morning, right?
Yeah.
Or you like going on a hike?
I like hiking. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have service.
Yeah.
And all you can do is just go on a hike.
Yep.
or
Take it
whatever.
all in.
Yeah. It's the best. And that's what I wish for anybody. And like for me, I had to drink or like benzos. I really like those Valium or Xanax because that gave me that feeling that I get to experience a majority of the time now, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like right now I'm just talking to Amy. This is where I need to be, and I'm supposed to be here because I'm doing the next right thing. And same for you.
Yeah.
All you can do, what can you control? You can control being here, agreeing to do this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
hopefully somebody, will need to just get some kind of peace from hearing it,
You never know, right?
You never know.
And that's where you just put it out there.
Yeah.
But your intent is good.
Yeah.
And it's selfless.
Yeah.
It's humbling. I mean, there's so many good qualities that come out of you doing this that if nobody hears this, if I get 0 listens on this episode, at least you came in with the right heart and the selfless attitude and being mindful of others. And that's really the best thing you can do when considering the trauma that you've been through to get here.
If you get 0 listeners, please don't tell me.
Right. Honestly, I don't even really like to look. Somebody the other day asked me how many people listen, and I was like, I don't like looking.
Yeah, we don't want to know that.
I don't care. I know my mom listens.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
So my mom will hear this, and probably my wife.
Yeah.
For sure. So I guarantee you will at least get 2 listeners.
All right, good.
But no, I think it's amazing. And something I wanted to touch on, though, that you had mentioned was you had married 2 alcoholics after graduating. And you had said, why would I volunteer, right? Why would I sign up for this again?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is probably because it was comfortable.
It's always been comfortable for me.
Yeah, the chaos and you just are drawn to it because that's what you're familiar with, and that plays into your wanting control.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I at least know this.
Yeah.
But Tony shows up. I don't know what to do with this guy.
Yeah.
He's healthy. He's not.
He doesn't want to fight.
Yeah, he doesn't want to fight. I'm trying to break up or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Trying to burn this thing down. He won't let me.
He won't let me. Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. It has been an adventure. And I just feel like I must have done something right in life because, wow, what the improvement that I have made in just being able to adopt a healthy relationship I owe it solely to Tony. Like, wow, despite myself, he's made it work many times.
Well, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. You've probably had to grow a lot.
I did.
And had to also work on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And retrain your brain.
Yeah.
You said you listened to Dr. Kopel's episode, and we talked about that neuroplasticity, which is incredible because when your brain is in development, the things that you had to endure, the never feeling safe, always on high alert, like your brain did not get to develop like it should have, right? And so you finally get into a healthy relationship and your brain's like, I don't know how to respond to this, even though it's healthy. But over time, you develop healthy habits and thinking, and your brain creates new pathways. And then you get to be where you're at today, where you're experiencing that peace.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, literally on a daily basis, which I don't even know if I would have thought that was possible 7 years ago, 5 years ago.
Right.
It's so wild.
It's a blessing. It's a gift. It's the best. And that's exactly what I'm like now. And it's a miracle because I didn't think I'd feel this good sober.
Yeah.
Isn't that a Pink song?
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, it's true. It's great. And then the other thing too that you said, which is crazy about this, is when you talk about imposter syndrome, right? Like, I don't deserve this. Like, I don't deserve to be happy. I don't deserve success.
Yeah, I feel, because I've always, I'm a little blonde that pretty much always has a smile on my face. No matter what's going on, I'm going to enter the room like,
You seem pretty happy
yeah,
as long as I've known you,
yeah,
which is like 17 years.
which is like 17 years.
Yeah, that's a long time, yeah.
So that's a struggle because, a certain demographic of people are like this cake eater girl, she doesn't know. She never been through anything.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't know. So you don't feel just right there, but you put me in, let's just say, a chamber mixer experience where it's, seemingly successful, normal people. I almost can't find words. My throat closes up. I'm so, they know I'm just a little trailer park girl with 3 baby daddies. Still,
Yeah,
it's weird.
your identity. You don't fit in anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's it. I get you. I don't remember what episode I mentioned it on, but Britt and I were a member of the country club for a period.
Oh.
Didn't like that. Did
Yeah.
not belong here. But then, yeah, I end up in a meeting. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't belong here either. And so it's weird how you just, and from my perspective, it's because I just feel like such a fraud. I think that's just like as alcoholics, because we're just generally dishonest.
Yeah.
We're not honest about anything. We have so many secrets, right?
Yeah.
So that's what makes it hard for us to be in any setting, because like you said, they know. You just always feel seen, like not seen, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
But like for you, I think it's just because like you've been conditioned to never feel adequate.
Yeah.
And that's probably why like you are one of us, even though you don't have an issue.
Exactly.
You're one of us.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am. One in every way, except for that I'm so afraid of alcohol that I don't,
Your brain doesn't go rapid fire when you have a beer.
Right.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But, and that's where it's almost like my heart goes out more to you because like for a period there, I had relief.
Yeah.
Because I would be like, oh, this is nice. You've always just had to function without really knowing how to get that peace.
Yeah.
Because you don't use substances. So if anything, when you go to those places or those meetings, whatever, I think it's a badge of honor. Like, and on top of that, to be a mother and a wife to an alcoholic and addict is got to be the most difficult thing. Packing your child up, your 2-year-old, moving in the middle of the night, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was normal.
Speaking of diving, he was an offshore diver, and I lived in Louisiana, and I just waited until the next time that the boat went offshore, and I had a friend at work who helped me, and yeah, it was crazy. I mean, looking back at it now, I cannot even believe it. It was crazy times. But, and then I had to send my son for visits, and my son endured a lot of what I would have never wished on him,
Right. No, of course not. Right. Yeah. But again, not your fault. I think we're a byproduct of our environment to a degree. I think there's also personal accountability, but man, you from a young age were put in a rut.
Yeah.
And the amount of work it's hard to get out of that rut.
Yeah.
And so the other thing too is alcoholics and addicts were charming, we're manipulative, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there is an addictive side from my perspective of like catching the lie, of being in it. I can't really explain it. It's comfortable. I can only just say it's comfortable, or it was, to, oh, yep, here we go. We're off the rails. There's 6 cans of beer in the garbage. Here we go. And then, like, of course, then I freaking knew it. And then also, in my experience with my ex-husband, he was super duper apologetic, especially after that typical abuse, very, very violent, very mean, and then so sorry. And it's just because he loves me so much, and I bring out this side in him, and, the love bombs and that's addictive too. It's hard to even really figure out what reality is at that point.
Absolutely. Well, that's the cycle of abuse.
Yeah.
Because, like you'd said, you experience an overwhelming amount of emotion when he's abusive, or you catch him in a lie, your brain goes into hyper alert, right?
Yeah.
And so then you have these, the stress and everything associated with it. And then when you incorporate, then you get the love bombing portion where you get like that love emotion, those endorphins kind of, where you're like, oh, he does love me. You know what I mean? That's gonna be okay. Like that, it's essentially creates a trauma bond, as they call it, because your bond is, people will say, well, he hit you, you should leave him. But then he does this, I'm sorry, I love you so much. You bring out, you're all,
Yeah.
and like there's a part of you that if then you feel like that's your worth, right? And I'm obviously speaking from, to a degree, just from what I know about it, because I've seen alcoholics, like I've called other alcoholics out about their love bombing. It's a form of abuse. It's emotional abuse, love bombing. And I was guilty of that, right? I messed up. And then I love you so much, right?
Yeah.
And then when they don't respond to it, though, then they flip right back into, you know what, though? You're the most selfish, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's such a terrible thing to do to another human being, is to feed into them. And then when they don't respond the way you want them to, for then you to be like, all right, then you just go. It's like, wait a second, you just told me I was the most amazing person in the world.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't then respond how you wanted me to. So yeah, it's so funny because everybody thinks that their experience is unique, but there are so many similarities in so much of this.
It's a pretty simple formula.
Yeah.
And I think if we can, or just our emotions and what we're comfortable with, it's just hard to overcome those things. But then once you do and you step outside of it like you have, and then you look back, you're like, really, it's not that complicated. Every alcoholic thinks they're different. Every alcoholic thinks they're the most special, right?
Yeah.
They're not. That's why you can get 50 of us in a room. Doesn't matter what we do for a living or how much money we make. We're all the same. We talk, and that's why we all create this close companionship. And that's why I'm saying you're one of us, because your substance may not be alcohol or drugs, but it might be affirmation, right? Or reassurance, whatever those things are that people like us would use to feed your addiction.
Right.
So then you stay with us, right? Because you had these.
And also being needed.
Needed,
that is such a big one. Just cleaning up the mess. So I'll drive the car. I'll call the bondsman.
The fixer.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, I'm the only person who could fix this.
Here comes Amy to save the day.
Yeah.
These alcoholics or addicts messed it up. Amy's going to fix it. That's it. And that's your identity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's a terrible way to live, but it's familiar and it's comfortable. And so I can't fault you you just kind of, and like you said too, it's like Tony tricked you.
Yeah, he did. Like, he absolutely did.
And then you're like, wait a second, this guy's not an addict or an alcoholic.
This guy's normal. What are we doing here?
What are you doing driving a motorcycle, Tony?
Yeah.
You should be doing my taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that
back then, smoking those Marlboro Reds, like, it was so cool.
Right. But yeah, thank God you got tricked, right?
Yeah.
Because now look at you. It's awesome. And it's so cool. And it's well deserved. I mean, I'm happy that now you got to that point where you're able to have that serenity, right?
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing. And like that serenity prayer, right? God grant me, accept the things I cannot change. And then the courage to change the things I can. Right.
Yeah.
And that's that giving to God, because anything you can't control, anything you can't change, that's what you give up.
Yeah.
And then over time, you're like, oh yeah, well, there's nothing else I can do. I did everything I could, right?
What's interesting about it is it's true even, I don't know if this is an age or experience or where I'm at, but even in real estate, what used to just fluster me and now I'm like, well, I have no control over this. I don't know what happens if we don't get the appraisal back. I can't control that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to, lose my mind over it, which is very freeing. It's really nice to just
100%.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Good for you. You're so healthy.
Yeah, I really am.
I love it.
Today.
Oh my gosh, you're saying so many healthy things that makes me so happy. Yeah, that's the idea. And that probably makes you a great realtor because you'll have clients calling and freaking out about things, and you can realistically say, "Well, there's nothing we can do about it at this point." So you're right.
Yeah. It's just that it's not taking it on as much
No,
as I once did. Now being able to just stand back and objectively look at this and say, there is literally nothing I can do about this. So
that's
losing
right.
sleep or stressing out or screaming or punching or anything else is going to do nothing.
No,
So why? Why not
and it
just
might make
either?
it worse.
Yeah.
And if you're stressed about it, you're just wasting the moment, and it's keeping you from doing
Yeah.
something that you could focus on, something you can change.
Yeah.
It takes energy.
Takes energy. Yes.
Yeah, you could be applying towards being productive. That's amazing. I think man, I can't think. I'm sure I'm going to think of other things I should have asked you, but I really appreciate you doing this because we talked a little bit about my episode with Chelsea, which was amazing. And hearing you talk, I mean, it's so hard from my perspective because it's like when you talk about these people, like I can just see myself a little bit in your mom because when you show up to the airport, and she says she's sober, right? She's doing good. That's how she
At
got you there.
yeah, she said she was doing good. That was how
Right.
she
And
got
you're
me
10
there.
years old. And she said, come up to Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sober, whatever. I'm doing
sober,
well. I got
good.
this new husband. You said was a good dude.
Yeah, really good dude. Yep.
Oh, man, you get off the plane and right away.
Just instantly.
And you had to be devastated, right?
Again, it was like that feeling foolish.
Yeah.
I freaking trusted her. She tricked me. She manipulated me. Yeah, and the thing is that I had a very good life there. I loved my life there. It was really sad to leave. My stepdad was this, outdoorsman. He taught me to fish and he hunted and he was military, so cool, such a good guy. He didn't know any of it, none of it. He didn't find out until she died, a lot of things. And, so we were kind of in it together. And it was, I mean, my friend, like the moment that she died, my best friend was like, you wanted this to happen. This is a 13-year-old girl saying this is the best thing that could have happened to you. That's huge. That's like, blows my mind now to think, now I have a 13-year-old little boy. I can't even imagine,
Right. Yeah, it's not good. It's sick. It's dark.
Yeah.
It's really dark stuff.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And she loved Valium. That song, that Eminem song.
Oh, yeah.
Cool, calm, just like my mom with a couple of Valium. My mom.
A couple of Valium, yeah.
10 Valium.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, I think, I guarantee you I knew what she was taking, and I know what that feeling's like. And that stuff is lethal. That Valium, I didn't realize how bad it was until I got sober and I started looking into it, what it does to your brain. And the back in the day, they were just like, oh, this works.
Yeah.
But man, and you can die from withdrawals from Valium, and I didn't know that. I mean, that's the crazy thing is like, I could have died a few times but like you said, like your mom just wanted to die.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like, well, if I can die by just taking too many Valiums, it's probably the best way to go out. I think that's probably my best choice. It's terrible. I can't imagine. It's scary stuff. And
even that, I'm left with wondering, did she just accidentally take too much that time, or was it intentional? There's so many things that I think that's what I'm the most resentful about is the things that I will never know,
Yeah. I bet you it was both.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was.
She didn't really want to die.
Yeah.
She probably would tell you she did, but I think the reality is we don't want to die, but what else?
We don't want to live either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't want to drink, but I don't like feeling sober. That's like our life is just always like, I don't want to drink, but I also don't like not drinking. It's just a constant tug of war, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we get these moments of reprieve where it's like, okay, I had fun sober. That was great, but it doesn't last unless you have a long-term solution. And really too, take it every day.
Yeah.
And you learn these principles and don't set expectations. But I think for her, they always say that these people who try killing themselves and they fail, they describe this immediate sense of regret, right? On their way off the bridge or whatever, these survivors.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the stuff when I was just talking to a guy the other day who was having thoughts of self-harm. And I said, man, the thing that helped me was like reading about the people that failed, right? Because most people do fail and it's terrible. Like, and then they talk about like, as soon as I pulled the trigger, I immediately regretted it, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I can't imagine that feeling. And thank God for them, they survived. But those people who probably had those moments were like, I'm dying and I don't want to.
And now it's too late.
Now it's
There's
too
nothing I
late.
can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that for me is like enough to, that's what I tell people. Never mind the harm you'll do to everybody that knows you, but you're in such a selfish state of mind and that stuff that doesn't matter what other people are going to go through when you die. How are you going to feel when you have that regret and you can't go back?
Yeah.
That's your last feeling. And there's hope, right?
Yeah.
There's hope for your mom. I mean, but you get to a point where you're like, this is just who I am now. Just give up.
Yeah. I think that I grieve the fact that she didn't get to experience anything besides that. I have, her last probably year on this earth, it was such a fog, it was not living. It was, but I definitely grieve that she could have. I mean, I always said if she'd have used her powers for good instead of bad.
That's what we do, right?
She would have been amazing.
That's 100%. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people. I heard a dad say like, oh, my son, like his son's a pretty bad alcoholic and has been for a while, but like he's just talking about like every time, just imagine reading in the news, he driving drunk and killed somebody.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think when I see people that are that bad, I'm like, man, they're going to do huge things if they get this figured out, right? Like that's where my mind goes because I've seen it, but I understand how people just assume that's where they're going to head. But in reality, yeah, people like your mom, the really bad ones, right? They figure this thing out. They're remarkable people. I mean, you think about having to face your demons and talk to Amy, right? And acknowledge the harm you've done and forgive yourself for the loss of Charlie, right? And you get through that. There's no more bad days.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're done having bad days, I feel like. And so it's tricky though, but I can definitely appreciate the weight of having to deal with that guilt, shame, and remorse. And I can't really falter, of course, like you said.
Yeah. And that's kind of, from my perspective, anybody that's struggling with that just the idea of facing what you've done, that the me's, the little girl of my friend, we are here for you. We will forgive you over and over. The love is unconditional, no matter what.
Yeah. But I'm not going to tolerate abuse
Right.
and toxic behavior.
Right.
To protect myself.
Right.
And my children.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's it. I love you, but.
Yeah. You want to take this journey, this sobriety journey.
Yeah.
You'd just be shocked.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you've experienced that. Like so many people that you're like, oh, yeah, they're definitely done with me. I won't even knock on their door. And then you get to a certain level of sobriety and there they are. And you're like, oh, they were just done with drunk me. They're not.
Yeah. That's the idea. Yeah. And that's the hardest part of it. Are the people that it just takes time for certain people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being patient and just knowing that as long as I keep showing up and they'll come around. There's still a couple individuals in my life that have yet to, despite my efforts to reach out, I don't harass, but say happy birthday or something, very close friends that I haven't talked to since getting sober. And it's tough, right? But I just hope that someday, maybe, and the thing is that when that day comes, it's going to be better than when I had wanted it,
Yeah, it's something you can't control.
Can't control it, yeah. And I feel like I've done everything I can. So now it's just when it happens, it'll happen when it's meant to. But yeah, there's just some parts out there that it's like, man, if I could just sit down with you, let me just, like, I can't force it. They know and when they're ready, I'm here. But yeah, I get you 100%. Well, shoot, Amy, you are an amazing person. And I'm super proud of you and I'm happy for you and I love you. And gosh, you should write a book.
Well, and actually, it's been on my to-do list for quite some time.
Please, I think you would be surprised. I would read it, absolutely, and I would buy multiple copies. Your perspective and your understanding is invaluable because there's people that will live their entire life and not figure it out, right? And that's why I'm so grateful you did this because people like you have this incredible story and these tools. And you just, you might use them like at the funeral for that guy's daughter, but
yeah,
man, I can't tell you, you're doing awesome. I'm so thankful for you.
Well, I mean, right back at you. I love that you were doing this podcast, and I'm so happy that you let me come and talk and kind of give a different perspective. And
it's perfect because we talked about this like months ago, right?
Yeah.
And then I think I reached out to you and I was like, hey, I'm ready when you are. That was like probably last month, I think we talked.
I think it was a couple months ago.
Yeah. And I said, I'm just going to ask once. And then, I didn't hear back from you. And you just randomly texted me and said, all right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, tomorrow.
Yeah, we have to do it right now. That's exactly how I was like, I know if I don't do this.
Yeah, I know, but that's it. And that's how it works because it's like, this is perfect timing.
Yeah.
Like you doing this today is exactly when it was supposed to happen. Everything that you've been through to this moment and then moving forward. It's like, who knows? But yeah.
And honestly, it feels so good to get it off my chest. This is not stuff that very many people know about me.
Yeah.
Very few. And this is just the tip of it. This is just a little tiny, but it just feels so good to talk about it because it's like a secret,
That's right. And it's not your secret.
Yeah.
It's not your shame. It's not your, right?
Yeah.
And
but it feels like it.
It does feel like it. And that's why you keep it close to the chest. But then you let it go. And you're like, why did I carry that for so long?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that addicts and alcoholics try to do is they project their shame onto you where they say, you better not tell anybody about this, right?
Right.
They convince you like,
right.
Hey, this is yours too.
Yeah.
And then you do. And it's like, no, I'll tell whoever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to learn to accept it.
So right. You are so right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insanity. But I love you. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yes.
Keep doing good work.
You too.
Maybe someday I can come back.
I'd love to have you anytime.